All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Ori and the Blind Forest 0 XP on PC with Cereberon. Cereberon, how's it going today?
It is going great.
Awesome.
Before I get started, we're going to check my couch real quick. You guys would like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I can't hear myself. I'm Shokushu, working with NoReset to get this event going. I'm also Ori and the Blind Forest speedrunner, but I do all skills. So this is a new category for me. I know a little bit about it, but... And who are you?
I am the Invisible Man, but I am Zombie Punk TV. I am also an Ori speedrunner, also with all skills, no out of bounds. So this is also a bit of a new thing for me as well. They'll see me eventually, it's fine.
Oh, I think I fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah, so even though you've not physically run 0 XP, you know everything you need to know. We're going to go over the steps for it as we get started here, which will come over to just a blank save, and we'll be ready to go. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo! Let's go!
Let's go.
So the first thing we do in any speedrun, skipping the prologue. It's a nice, beautiful prologue, but it's very long. We unfortunately don't have that much time. And we're also going to disable the user interface with Alt-U. Not only does it stop us from seeing how healthy we are, it also stops all text boxes from showing up, which,
Minus me?
as
No,
you might guess,
mine.
skips cutscenes. But 0 XP is a category where we are extremely limited in Ori and the Blind Forest. We're going to be skipping a whole lot of things, but we're still going to be playing the main game. You just saw me pick up an energy orb. That is the first and only one I will ever be able to get.
Do we have time for a donation or two?
I do have time for a donation.
Awesome. So we have a $5 donation from Lilin TV who says, Cereberon kicks ass. Then we have Cryptech Box with another $5 donation saying, to the best stream mom and her lovely hubby, love you with a mouth.
Well, thank you very much.
Those were for the previous runs, but I mean, it was a short one.
Yeah.
We missed them.
Mm-hmm.
Although I feel like more donations are coming for the previous runs because we had a deal, something about getting a boss off screen and whatnot, so stay tuned.
Awesome. So, every enemy in this game tends to drop some XP. We need to not touch any of that stuff because we're not allowed to. We're going to come over here real quick, pick up this teleporter. We do need it later. Because I did things out of order here, we're just going to save again. And reload to make the XP disappear.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say.
Yeah, we need to have 3 life. It's important to manage it correctly. We don't have a lot of room for error, especially in the beginning. The beginning is very spooky. So right now, we're at 1 life. And we need to get all the way to the tree under this condition. That was a keystone we just picked up. You use those to open some doors. We're going to get a look at some of them in a minute. You're in a bad place. Ouch.
Yes.
Try it again.
So I had to remove my headset for a second. Did you tell why your UI is invisible?
Yes, the UI
Okay.
is off so that we don't have to see any text boxes.
Yeah.
It also stops us from seeing how healthy we are, but memorization is easy when you only have 3 health and 1 energy.
And you know by heart all the damage values of all the monsters?
No, but if it does 1, then it's pretty easy. If it does 3, then you're dead.
Yeah, quick maths.
Yep. So, 1 life, a little bit of spookiness here. Just gonna travel along. Okay.
No.
No. So, interesting problem for the early game. The very first health and the very first energy that you ever pick up in this area will cause Ori to do a pose, saying, I got this. But the XP will still be there, and it will catch you in those cases. So we're going to use some invincibility to walk through that bramble there. We're going to use it again on our way out. Wait there. That one I call Sarah Slime. He falls from the ceiling and explodes. His XP is very random. It can get in your way to where you won't be able to jump across. And we're coming up on our very first skill here because we're actually trapped. We can't get out of here without this skill.
Are you getting all the skills?
I'll be getting every skill in the game except for a single one known as Grenade. Grenade is a bit too far out of the way.
It's not really useful.
It is not really useful in 0 XP. So now we have wall jump. So we're going to climb up this wall and do a little bit of movement. Interesting fact, you can actually buffer inputs in this game while you're dead. And so we use those invincibility frames to get through there quickly.
Pretty sure that, at least for me, this game is probably the best game of the decade.
This game is so good. But one other thing to note, you'll notice I just saved up there before I died. Every time I save, I'm using an energy, which is the little blue crystal you see. When we're out of energy, we can't save. We're going to come up on a skill in just a minute or two that will also use that same crystal, so we need to manage it correctly. Here we got a refill here, we're going to take that. Let's see if I can hit the cycle here. It's a little late. Yeah, we'll wait on it. Just a quick there. These flowers, whenever they shoot, they do it in an explosion fashion. So you get too close and you'll just take damage. And once again, we're kind of at 1 life. So, oh, please jump, Ori.
It's pretty lethal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's play it safe.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry on that one.
You can jump around that shot. It is something I've practiced. It's still not something I like to do. Generally, if the cycles line up, it's nice and easy. So here we're coming up on our first cutscene. We picked up Sign earlier, this little orb following us around, our little Navi, so to speak. And he's sending us on a quest to save the decaying forest here. And this is the tree that at one point he was a part of. We're skipping the cutscene to show you that. Sorry, not sorry. And here we got a nice view of the world map, as it were. You can see the major points that are on it. And he gives us a direction to go, but we're going to take a quick detour and check out some of the content exclusive to the definitive edition, where we'll go up and pick up Dash. This is why we got our teleporter earlier. And so we get a little unskippable cutscene here. Turn back on the UI so you can understand it a little bit better. So we're telling the game story a bit out of order by skipping the cutscenes. You don't know who these are, but you've got Naru and Naru Papa. This is where they live.
A little bit of story time. And the story in this game is absolutely amazing as well. Like, it's really a heartwarming story. Like, I've met very few people that can beat the game, having paid full attention to it, that don't kind of tear up at the end. So,
I mean, I consider the beginning, the prologue, a self-contained movie of sorts, a short movie. So it's really amazing. And yeah, you're right. This game is highly emotional.
Yeah. Now, one thing that you are going to notice here that I don't know if he'll necessarily bring it up or not, but the movement right now is pretty basic platforming type stuff. As he starts to unlock more moves, especially one we're about to see here in a little bit, this game starts moving very, very quickly.
Oh yeah.
So thankfully, we just passed the red spike pit of death over there. Those spikes do 3 damage. The rest of them here only do 1. They're much kinder. And these lasers, they do infinite damage.
9999 damage.
As high as you can count.
Oh, so 3.
So we're carrying around this light orb. It allows us to use the platforms you see here. When they fade into darkness, you can't stand on them, but with the orb, we are able to traverse the zone. And eventually, we're going to be bringing light to it, so we can see everything. It's a little dark right now. Go ahead.
All right, so we have a $10 donation by ZombiePunk TV saying, "Love me some Ori, and the community is honestly one of the best on the internet. Good luck on the run, Cereberon, and remember, I am right behind you, judging you."
Oh dear, you're judging me. Well, shout outs to the Ori community. I hope everybody's watching and enjoying.
And also, as promised, I joined into the little Sailor Moon bonus thing. I didn't even remember how much it was, but I'm pretty sure $20 covers it. So, if not, somebody correct me and I'll donate more.
Yeah, it was $1,000, I think.
Oh, okay. Be right back.
We're getting there. So we finally completed our orb journey. We're gonna light up the forest. You can actually see the tree if we'd walk to the right, but there's just not enough light for us to learn from it.
Requires more minerals.
Requires more minerals.
More Vespian gas.
More. And so now we take a moment and we're gonna learn Dash, one of the most powerful skills in the game.
It's very satisfying.
Oh, yes.
So, and this unlocks a skill we call Dash Gliding, which allows us to dash and then jump. And we let go of all our movement and we'll fly in the air at the same speed we were dashing.
Keeping your momentum. So this is now a speed run?
Well, it depends on how much the ground holds me down.
Yeah.
Now we get to really go fast.
Yeah, so a little cutscene there. We get to jump way over here to start our attraction of the Pronky earlier. A quick tutorial showing you that enemies can affect the world, which is very important for other aspects of the game, especially in the randomizer. You can do some pretty creative things. And like anywhere we have the chance, we're going to be trying to dash.
This run is so interesting for me to watch, and I'm sure for Shoko as well, because in All Skills No Out of Bounds, we literally go through the game kind of backwards.
Yeah.
Yep. There's the casual way, there's the fast way, and then there's the speedrunner way. So we get to do a nice little backflip trick here to unleash the Spider Rock. Because we just unlocked Charge Flame. That lets us blow up these blue items, these blue rocks. These blue rocks using 1 energy. So every time we do it, we need to recover. Got a little bit of a river here to cross. We'll take 1 damage. Seems reasonable price for passing.
It's a toll bridge.
It needs more wood on that bridge. All right. And now up to one of the scariest parts of the run. We're going to be performing a trick called Iceless, referenced from Mega Man. We're going to see how long it takes me to get this trick. We've got some donations. Now's a good time.
Well, we do, but it's a $1.71 donation by, we don't know, because they're anonymous, but they donated towards Silent Hill 4 choose the blood color, and they chose purple.
Ooh, purple. I like that color.
It's a great color. Oh,
Oh, close.
Oh.
Yeah, this trick is extremely tight. You know, it can take a lot of attempts on some occasions, but it's very fast to retry, so we give it our best shot.
yeah, at least you'll have like to reload every time.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, when did this game turn into Mega Man X, and why are we trying Iceless right now?
Oh man.
This definitely makes me feel better about the difficulty of the grotto skip and all skills.
Yeah, we'll get to that one soon too.
Oh, good.
There it is.
Yeah.
So we're not quite through yet. We've got one last obstacle here. We're gonna wait. We're gonna be patient. This guy drops spooky XP. And we don't want it.
And also, there's also an XP orb.
Hi, spikes. Those spikes do 3 damage. We're just gonna use save and then die. Every time you die, you come back. Just a little bit of invincibility time. So that's one of the main aspects of this run we get to use to bypass little things here and there. That's a bigger skip. We get to see Gumo here. Normally you'd meet him at the Ginso tree. We will see him there a little later, but for now we're gonna chase him down into Grotto. Because he has something we want. He has the water vein. You see, he's calling for help. Little spitter guy here. Take him out nice and easy. That guy takes a lot of sane Spirit Flame shots, but with 2 very well timed charge flames, we knock him right out.
Good riddance.
He'll be back. Or maybe his brother. There's a couple of them throughout the world.
The Spitter family.
I maybe they're a family.
Well, if it's his brother.
A brother from another mother.
Collecting a few more keystones so we can get through a door. We're gonna be heading to our 4th skill of the game. Double jump. Whoa. Let's see if we can get this. Woo! Right over
Some fancy movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time we hit a tree, we have that little cutscene play. It also heals us completely, as well as giving us a new skill, and it saves the game. There are a couple points in the Blind Forest where the game is lenient, and it will just say, you know what, you deserve a save. And those are generally after large cutscenes. But that's really our saving grace when it comes to not being able to save sometimes. Here we have Grotto skip. Oop.
Don't take the XP.
Down the wall we go.
Oh.
Alright, so this jump is pretty tight.
Come on, jump.
Oh.
Wow. That XP is just
It's tall.
no.
You failed.
Alright.
That took some XP. Oh, and
There you go.
And
Second. That was actually first try.
So were you able to make the jump because you gained some experience in the process of doing it over and over again?
I suppose the repetition wasn't enough. I needed to learn.
Actually, this jump is pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's impossible if the wood you jump from is leaning to a side. I feel like when it's not moving, it's way easier.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, once that platform starts going, you really have to aim a little better.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few spots on the wall that you can go from, but here we're gonna do a quick little bit of slow skip. Normally Ori walks really slow there, but you can jump over that and we're gonna see Gumo disappear. Poof, magic.
So quick question now, that 1 XP that you picked up, was it erased when you reloaded, or is that...
Yes, because I did not have it when I put the save down, I no longer have
Gotcha.
it. I'll turn on the UI in a sec so you can see. And you can see down in the center, it's got that 0, the dark yellow bar around. That lights up as you gain XP. So as long as it stays all the same color, we are good to go. Sort of backtracking here. Oh, okay. We can still do this. It's just a little. Woo!
Little spooky.
A little bit. Take a quick save there. Okay. Do that again. Interesting to note that these purple spinning devices are they will continue spinning after you have died, so they'll be in a different place sometimes. So here's our first meeting of Gumo. We saw him down below, and he already gave us that, so that must be a fake.
Something, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
So here we head into Ginso. Ginso is a very vertical dungeon, as many people will describe it. It's all about going upwards. And we'll also get the most famous skill in Ori and the Blind Forest here. But first, we've got to make use of that double jump that we picked up down in Grotto.
In a casual playthrough, this the Ginso tree is pretty nice to do.
No!
I mean, Ginso tree is really nice to do during the speedrun as well, especially you get a good rhythm going.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah, you can definitely have a lot of fun here.
Do you know what else feels pretty good?
What's that?
We just got another $100 donation by Anonymous, who donated towards the purple incentive for the Silent Hill 4 blood color.
Nice.
We got a raise going, but it also means we break $1,000!
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
And we're less than 40 followers away to breaking 5,000 followers, which there's another milestone.
Let's do it.
But right now, the Silent Hill 4 bid war for the blood color, we have red at 125, purple at 151.71, and green is still in the lead at 200, but we still have a race, so there you go. Keep donating, people. Thank you very much.
Did it hit him? No. Okay.
But green's my favorite color.
By the way, big shout outs to 666 viewers.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Evil viewers!
So we got another mini boss here. This one spits at us.
Yeah, the pushing where it spawns is random, but you kind of can see it like half a second before it spawns.
I've heard tales that you can see it. I am not of that association. I cannot see him before he spawns. It's a nice thing to have. So we actually pace our shots there so that we take him out rather quickly. Ori is bound to shooting 2 spirit flames at a time, or 3 depending on the rhythm at which you choose.
I'm getting word from chat that there is a white arrow that appears for a single frame to show where that boss will appear. So it's literally a single frame.
Yeah, and I've looked for it, but I don't know.
Guess the human eye can only see 24
The
frames per second.
eye-brain communication for myself is not there.
No bueno. My favorite skill in the game.
Need more practice.
Everyone's favorite skill.
So now we have arguably the best skill in the game.
This better come back for Will-O-the-Wisps. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah, because this is where movement gets insane.
Yeah, we're gonna stop just running and jumping. That used to be our fastest modus operandi. Now we're gonna be bashing whatever we can.
So for those of you out there that have never seen Ori and the Blind Forest being played casually, much less speedrun, you're in for a treat.
So the skill we just took is called Bash, and basically what it does is you can stop time when you get a projectile or an enemy near you, and basically you can jump off of it. There's a white arrow that spawns, and you choose where you want to go, and the projectile or the enemy that you're kicking off is going the opposite direction.
Indeed. And we're gonna borrow the environment here.
Hey, that's cheating.
He was there. I had a job for him, okay? And so here we have a redirect puzzle, but we can just aim it correctly. That's a little too much.
Very nice.
Nice. A sharpshooter.
Oh yeah.
And that clears the brambles off of our Ginso tree heart. And we're going to clean the water in the world by reactivating it.
Yeah, like we took 1 damage earlier when we tried to cross the poison river because all the water was poisoned in this world. Now it's clean, and this is one of the best escape sequence in the kit too.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, now we're skipping it in the all skills, and
Yeah.
makes me sad.
Yeah, they haven't found a way for me to skip it yet.
Yeah, every time you do one of these dungeons, you will go through an escape sequence, and this is definitely, it really gets a showcase off the movement very, very well.
And this one, you know, the water is chasing you, so it really feels extremely tense.
Yeah, it gives a sense of urgency.
Yeah, the other two have a little bit different threats. Whoop.
Yep.
We're gonna skip that.
Also, the music was amazing. I'm just gonna say.
The music is always amazing.
So we're actually gonna turn on the UI here. Gumo just saved us from our nemesis, who will remain unnamed for a moment. We need the UI to show that one text box. Otherwise, Ori will stare at the sky for a suspicious amount of time. And now we are in what I dub the vacation area. We get to do a lot of swimming, and that's relaxing. So if there's a donation or two, this is a good time. We've released that water over there. That's something for later. We're going to get a skill called Stomp in just a minute. And that water was in our way. So we just take the time while we're here to do the work that needs to be done.
And appreciate the scenery.
Yep.
Oh yes.
You'll notice that Ori has a little white bar while he's swimming underwater. That is his oxygen meter.
I mean, you can't expect a magical jumping mouse rat thing to be able to breathe underwater, can you?
Well, there's an ability for that, but because it's 0 XP, we don't get it. Luckily, we have quite the big lungs, so it's not a problem. We make that swim nice and easy. So we can actually go up that spike wall right there because I'm at full life. Those spikes do 2 damage. Just pointing out a possibility that could have been.
It's much more fun to show off with the bashing jumps.
Of course.
Yep. So we got our next little spooky section here. We picked up Stomp, but we're gonna go backwards. There's a mini boss if we go to the right side. It's a rhino, but we don't. Fighting him is not worth it. You can see another Rhino right there. That one we just passed right by. Here's my favorite trick in the game. Almost. So we've got our water. Now it's time to go unleash the wind. Sane is sending us left. And we've got quite the challenging adventure here. So once again, remember, we're at 1 life. We have not healed yet since taking that 2 spike damage. So everything here is very spooky. Oh! There's that. That wall did not feel I made it high enough.
As he said, everything here is quite lethal.
Just making stage correct.
Are we making our way to Sorrow Pass?
We are going to Misty at the moment.
Oh.
Oh, not quite.
Yeah, because we actually get to see the sorrow, not sorrow, but Forlorn.
Yeah, one
ruins.
one particular thing about this game or this category that separates itself is that we're taking all the normal paths. Iceless may have let us skip a little bit early on, but for the rest of the game, we're going to be taking the standard way.
Okay.
We don't have access to the tools to sort of break that mold.
I love the movement in this game. Oh, so good.
We'll give Kuro, our bird friend, frenemy, a little headache there.
Very much a frenemy.
A friend of you?
And so this feather is actually going to be our next skill, Glide. Funny fact, this category doesn't require dash, and this would be the point where you'd get your fastest movement without dash, bash gliding, which lets us take the momentum from a bash and just hold it while floating. It's very pleasing to do, but bashing is much more flashy.
Now, this area of the game is very much like a forest of illusions. The path is going to change constantly depending on where we're located at in here. But also, this area really lets you kind of spread your wings and show off some of the really good movement in this game.
Yeah, I always call it the exam of Ori in the Blind Forest. It's where you have to use all your skills.
And this is the first area where spikes are deadly. Every spike here does 3 damage. So we really got to be on our toes and not take any tips from them. So there's our objective. We need what's called Atsu's Torch to release the key to the next area. But the forest here doesn't want us to get it. It's going to throw a bunch of obstacles in our way. And you'll recognize this by now. There's another skill tree. What are we going to get this time? It's going to be climb. Like wall jump, it lets us go up walls, but now we don't have to hop our way up walls, which is important for these little flower guys. They retract every time you jump off the ground. Ooh, that hurts. So you can see an example of that right there. And then we have another flower puzzle. This one's a little bit more straightforward. You would step on the flower and the next one would appear, but, well, we can just use our friend to get there too.
That's because Cereberon is a tricksy hobbitses.
I'm definitely not the most excited being at 1 life right now.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Let's get that. You can see this game is really a fan of spikes. There are a lot of spikes. But what platforming game is not complete without lots of spikes?
Very true.
We're gonna do a little skip here. Normally that little spitter guy would pop out and you'd use him to get up top, but we can just pass by him. That's another skip. We just needed a little extra height to reach them. And interestingly enough, you can use a combination of glide and bash to gain height, as long as whatever you're bashing off of has the HP to do it. So you can do some pretty interesting chains with that. There we are. There's our torch we've been hunting for quite some time. Now we're gonna go take it and put it in its location. While we're carrying it, we can't do a lot of our movement here, so we have to be a little more careful. It's our slime alleyway. It's a big point of trouble.
Yeah.
They only want to love you. It's fine.
They're saying hello by spitting at me.
Is that not how you're supposed to say hello? That explains the restraining orders. All right.
So here we are. We delivered Atu's torch back to its perch, and you'll see out pops the Gumon seal, one of the most notorious items in Ori, particularly for the randomizer, because Forlorn is not a place that anyone wants to go. Even in speedruns, Forlorn is a place that is typically avoided. Watch out for that plant. You'll notice that some of those flowers I've opened have had health in them. Some of them also have XP. We definitely don't want any of that. That little set of bashes actually lets you go partially through a slow zone without slowing down. For some reason, if you try to dash, it just stops you. But bash gliding, it allows. And we make it to Forlorn. You'll see some guys right here. They look a lot like Gumo, and that's because this was Gumo's home at one point. It's not in the best state anymore.
Yeah, they also looking like some meat popsicles.
Is it Canada? Sure looks like.
Well, they are really polite here.
Oh.
So the main aspect of this particular area is controlling gravity. And we do that by, once again, picking up an orb. Lots of orbs in the game. And allows us to change our polarity from up, down, side, side. But once we let go of it, we're going to reorient normally. And there's lots of puzzles here, but if if you're not thinking about it, you will just be like, cool, gravity, and you'll do all the puzzles normally. But you actually have a lot of abilities to skip them all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just using the gravity to
It's a
not.
big brain skip.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
We're taking less steps. That little slime gets really close to that edge. All right.
Very well done.
Nice.
That-
Love it.
And that gets us through the majority of Forlorn. We've got a couple more cutscenes to take a look at, because these are unskippable. And then we'll be heading on for our second escape. And you can see Gumo's, he's been interested in us. After we got the water vein from us, he's looking out for us. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll be your friends. It's a fun little rock cycle up here coming up. These rocks bob up and down. That can make them a real nightmare to jump across. But thankfully there's a very straightforward setup for it. And Gumo is very fast. He caught up to us immediately.
Yeah, but he saw how to solve all the puzzles. It's easy. Door was open.
Maybe Gumo should be speedrunning this.
Yeah.
He'd go real fast.
What do they say, second place is first losers? No, second place just, you know, watch the first person beat the puzzles and walk behind them. So Gumo curiously takes our little gravity orb there. He seems to have a use for it. Meanwhile, this place is kind of falling apart now that we've unleashed the wind. So we've got water, wind. Is fire next? Is heart next?
The next dungeon shall be the elemental dungeon of bacon.
I am ready. Take me there. Do a little skip right there. Nice, we made it. This that rock right there will fly up and start dropping a lot of stalactites on you. But if you're quick, you don't have to worry about that particular obstacle. And doing the skip makes it a little spooky, because the air bursts do 2 damage, the icicles do 1. Just video game things. Cutscene about Kuro and the family.
Ori finds an egg. Who laid that egg?
Who did lay that egg? We're about to find out.
The next episode of Ori in the Blind Forest.
Is now.
That owl is at least 100 times bigger than Ori. I think we should run. Or skydive. That works too.
No fall damage.
No falling damage. And you can see after a major cutscene, it did save the game there. have to watch that XP. There's just a few spots in the game where XP is just a factor. It can get in your way.
Yes.
And experience, health drops, energy drops, they all take approximately 10 seconds to disappear. So we really like it when the game cooperates. Oop. All right, so we're coming up on what I like to call party time. Everybody say party time for me.
Party
Party time.
And now you get to pick a number 1 through 4. How many birds will join me for the party?
Probably 3.
Probably 3. Zombie?
I'm gonna say 3 as well.
3 does sound like a solid estimate.
But
We'll
it's
see what
usually
happens.
just 1.
Is it just 1?
Well, let's go ahead and invite them. You're invited. You're invited. You're invited.
See,
You're
there's
invited.
3. Oh, no, that's 4. Never
All
mind.
right, here they come. Oh, it is all 4 today.
Yeah, but they all died.
Well, I've only ever seen 1 bird make it to the party. But we do invite them.
That's a bit sad. You invited 4 people and nobody got in because they all died. That's a good reason for not going to a party. You should do that the next time someone invites me.
Come back here, you. All right, moving on to yet another trick here.
So we
do a
learn how
bit.
to juggle frogs.
Yeah. The tricky part is the bash mechanic does a little bit of damage, so you can't do it forever.
So interestingly there, the first try was a failure, but not because we didn't get the frog in the position. We got it again. You can see that the wind is there, but this particular trick just perfectly aligns you between 2 different veils of wind, so you'll get stuck. There we go. Thank you, frog. So in Sorrow Pass, spikes do 4 damage,
Yeah.
so even more than 3. But for us, still 3.
So, I mean, does that make you extra dead? Like, are you 1 extra dead because you only have 3 health?
I couldn't tell you that.
You lose 2 lives.
That's it. That's what it is.
And so here we've got our final skill of the game. We're picking up Charge Jump. This lets us break through platforms, horizontal, vertical. As long as they fit the bill, we can go through them. This also does a lot of damage to enemies while we're doing the jump itself.
We got a couple donations in. Let me know when's a good time.
Go ahead.
And we have a $20 donation by Sturk who says, Oreach is such a beautiful game and a joy to watch. Shout out to Zombie and all the crew out there. Good luck to all the runners. And then we have Cyclops who donated $15 and says, get wrecked, corner grandpa.
Thank you so much, Sturk, for that very generous donation. You amazing. And thank you, Cyclops, wherever you're at. Getting
Yeah.
food.
Thanks everybody so much for the donations. It's for a good cause.
Cyclops wandering around DreamHack at this point, looking like a Sailor Scout.
So here we finally climbed to the top of Sorrow Pass. We needed to come up here to get the key that locks Mount Horu, the Sunstone. And as we have climbed, Gumo has also been on a journey of his own. So we've got about a minute-long cutscene here to relax.
So we're now going to go to the Fire Temple, also known as California.
So this thing manipulates gravity. but it also seems to have the power of life, because Naru,
It's a Dragon Ball.
It's a Dragon
it's a
Ball.
Dragon Ball. It was all 8 of them just combined into a rock. That's why it disappeared after the wish was granted.
Gumo no, Gumo yes.
And we've been changing things throughout the forest, the water and the wind. The volcano's looking a little active. I think it's time we head over there and do something about it. And Sign's gonna say, yeah, that's a good plan. We're gonna head back over here. We've got a teleporter that we can pick up. Save us a little bit of time. This spider's in our way. And he's not in our way.
Gone now.
And as spooky as it looks, we didn't collect a single XP from him.
So at this point, we should only really have one more place we really need to go, right?
Yep, we've explored a very large portion of the map. We're headed to the final dungeon, Mount Horu.
Now with Mount Horu, you're not, like I said, I've not done 0 EXP, but you're still able to do the Mount Horu skip, right?
No.
No?
Nope. 0 XP is a glitchless category.
Oh.
Using that first frame trick is not allowed, just because that's not the way doors are supposed to work.
I mean,
It's nice that a door would just say, hey, I got this whole puzzle, this whole dungeon for you. Or, if you're the first one in line, you get to do nothing.
I mean, doors are just a social construct.
exactly.
How can you prove that it's supposed to bring you there, not at the end?
So here we're gonna exercise Bash a whole lot to climb up to the top. Oh, that's XP. Did I get that? We did not.
Run is still confirmed.
Run is still a go. Ah, I had a feeling. That's a really precise jump. And I was a little bit far to the right.
You made it look good, though. You
This
made
is-
that death look good.
Probably the hardest room in Mount Haru.
So, in each of these rooms, we're going to be doing something, either stomping or putting a rock down to lower the lava level so that we can quell the anger of the mountain, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll see we can reach the lower parts of the volcano.
Okay. That elemental shot sometimes goes through the wall. It's a matter of luck. But we always have the Baneling, the little green rollers. They do a ton of damage if they hit you. Way more than 3. But it's another good way to break the wall. He just drops XP, so we try to limit that problem. And you can see now Naru's coming into Mount Horu. Because the prologue was all about Naru's relationship with Ori, you know, being like a mother figure. So, Naru hasn't seen Ori in quite some time. Wants to make sure we're okay.
Are you eating your vegetable, Ori?
Been drinking your milk?
I have the strong bones.
That looks good.
This is very tight. This is the intended route, by the way.
Yes, we are doing things in the normal way. If you were
It
to
looks
place
like a skip, but it's not.
yeah, that works.
Sure.
What? How did that? Okay, well this works.
There you go.
Wow.
I've never had the bottom elemental shoot the top one. Okay.
Literal, this has never happened before, Kappa.
Definitely. So now we're gonna start to get into some less intended ways to do rooms. Like this room right here, you're supposed to push the button which activates the laser. Instead, we're gonna give this big slime a bath in the lava. And he needs a little company, so we're gonna send this rock to warm him up.
So, funny story. One of my casual playthroughs of this game, I turned on that laser which turned it around, which started rotating around. It snagged that brick and shoved me and the brick into that pit. Just pushed me right in.
So once again, lots of enemies, lots of projectiles, lava that you definitely don't want to fall into, and lasers, just everything. Woo. An interesting note, my very first playthrough of the game, it's really weird that Sign can lower these rocks, but later on you gain an ability called Grenade, which allows you to basically throw something that looks like Sign. And with that having the same ability, it makes way more sense that Sign can just de-lodge rocks. Ooh. Does anyone need some elevator music? And we're here.
Oh, I had more.
Don't. I would say we're going back down, but the elevator's going to be out of order in just a minute.
Good job, you broke it.
I'm a speedrunner. That's what I do.
Who's gonna repair it?
Hey.
That was a good save.
Yeah.
Yeah, that energy crystal tends to toss stuff all over the place. Alright, we're going to try a trick called Rock Skip. That's a little... Oh, there we go.
You did it.
Saves us from having to juggle a rock on the other side of the room. Very, very useful that a gap was left there. And you can see we're almost done. The major lava at the bottom of the room is now draining. So we just have one more room to drain. And then we'll be on to final boss and final escape. One is harder than the other. I'll let you decide.
The escape is harder than the boss.
I mean, I think it depends on who you ask. So we would have some lava chasing us. A little too fast to see it, but it'll eventually get here.
Driver, follow that lava. Follow it.
Yeah, something we haven't mentioned is in Mount Horror, you've got all these platforms that are sort of molten rock looking. If you actually stand on them for more than a second and a half, approximately, you will take damage. It's 1 damage.
Still.
But it hurts. Shout outs to that music glitch right there, giving us... Oh, hold on. I did not break this crystal. So here's our final boss. There he goes. He wasn't expecting us to come with all these abilities.
He was pleasantly surprised.
And so we made it to the heart of Mount Horror. We're gonna quell the fire, but Kuro, well, decides gonna land on the enemy scale today and try to stop us. And each of these small sections is an actual skill challenge. We are on a timer. Kuro will make noises in the background if you start taking too long, and eventually we'll just swoop in and that's that.
Yeah, he eats you. He's your friend, but, you know.
He'll eat you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at my friends and I'm just like, man, I'm hungry.
A bird's gotta eat, eh?
Remind me not to hang out with you after this.
Interestingly enough, this final room, we jump over the trigger that would have the Kuro timer happen. And with that final bash off of the rock, we are now at the end of the game. Holding right is all that's required for us to finish. Time will be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, time comes when you lose control of a particular person that comes. Okay, I don't know if you wanted to say it or not.
Yeah, we started the game as Naru in the prologue, which we skipped, but we end the game as Naru. Not because anything bad happens to Ori. Nothing bad.
No, nothing bad at all happens. It's fine, guys.
Nobody
you can let your children watch this. What happens here? We're fine.
We were so close.
Oh no! Naru, I hope you brought the Dragon Balls.
Quick, hop Naru.
Time. Yep.
Yeah!
So we do have a final cutscene here where Kuro will switch sides, become our friend, and save the forest in our steed. It's an amazing cutscene. But first, I want to thank everybody from the Ori community. This is such a fun game to run, and you guys made it a pleasure. Thanks to Moon Studios for producing the game. It is absolutely a treat, and I cannot wait for Ori and the Will of the Wisps coming out February 11th. Thank you so much to my two couch mates,
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
And thanks so much to the audience. I appreciate you all watching. Thanks to Twitch chat. You guys are great. And what do we have coming up next?
Coming up next, we have a Super Mario Odyssey any percent run.
Oh man, I actually forgot that I was right before that. We have Super Mario Odyssey, and then of course Link to the Past is after Odyssey. So some big stuff coming up. Definitely stay tuned, and I hope everybody is having an amazing time.
Yep. Thank you so much for that amazing Ori run. Such a beautiful game. And like we said, stay tuned for some Super Mario Odyssey.